There are three things that are permanent in life: high taxes, death, and bad bosses. Bad bosses is how I started my alternate career. After I graduated from IIM Bangalore, my first boss was a horror show. He would scream, he would shout, he would throw things at me. And at the age of 24, I couldn't do much in return. So I started writing. I would take out all my frustration against him in the books I started writing. My name is Sandeep Das, and I'm going to talk about my alternate career in writing and speaking. I've been doing this for 15 years, and what I want to speak of is the first 10 years were largely a failure. It was largely a flop show when it came to writing and speaking, and the last 5 years have gone extremely well. And in this context, I want to share 5 learnings which you can try and implement if you want to build any alternate career in your life going ahead. The learning number one is what seems guaranteed is actually never guaranteed. When I started writing books, I would write for every Sunday, I would write for 2 hours. I would write every weekend, and a book came out. And I would always think a certain amount of sales is always guaranteed. There were 250 people in my batch, there were 250 in my senior batch, 250 in my junior batch, that's 750. My engineering alum, 3,000-4,000 of sales would just happen just like that. Reality of life is none of them bought a single copy of my book. And I would go to them, my best friends from MBA school, and say, why are you not buying my books? And they would say, तू तो ये फ्री में देगा मुझे, मैं क्यों खरीदूं तेरी किताबें? So all my books have actually been bought by people who don't know me. And on a serious note, all the help I have got in life, some of the biggest breakthroughs I've got in life have come from people who absolutely don't know me. So the first learning I want to leave behind with you is what seems guaranteed in life is never guaranteed, and help typically comes from people who don't know you. The second learning I have in life for you is never judge an opportunity by its size or its color. In 2014, I had passed out of IIM Bangalore. My first book had come out, so I was reasonably successful. A coaching center, a CAT coaching center reached out to me and said, why don't you write columns for us? A CAT coaching center. At that point, a lot of people told me, you come from an IIM, you're a published author. It's not a good idea for you to do. It's very low on glamour for you to do such a thing. I did it. And because I was a big deal for them, I was a big deal for that coaching center, they were like my chemistry lab where I could absolutely experiment with any style I wanted to write. 8 years later, I started writing for the Times of India. I've started writing for every newspaper. Today, I'm the only Indian who writes a column with every major newspaper in this country. And when I look back at this, it was that experience of writing for a CAT coaching center that really shaped my writing style. Now, in your 20s, you will get many opportunities which you may think are below your dignity. But sometimes you don't have the foresight ahead to see where life is taking you. Life always makes sense in hindsight, never in foresight. So whenever in your 20s, whatever opportunities you're getting, please say yes, because you never know where that opportunity might actually take you. The third learning I want to speak of with you is show off is a good word. Show off is a good word. We've all grown up in middle class families. I came from a middle class family. I'm sure most of you do. And all along we grew up that you do your work, do it silently, don't show off. On the day of your appraisal, God will sit in your appraisal and God will take care of your appraisal. Unfortunately, we are living in Kalyug. God doesn't land up in every appraisal these days. One of my greatest turning points in life was when I decided to show off and showcase my achievements on social media. So every time a book of mine hit the best selling charts, I would go to LinkedIn and would shamelessly show off about it. A newspaper reached out to me. That's how Times of India started. I started writing for them. I would again go and show off, look, I'm writing for this newspaper. Another newspaper reached out to me. Similarly, all the newspapers reached out after some time. Because I was showing off, my book started hitting bestseller charts. My fourth book was on the bestseller chart for a long, long time. IIM Ahmedabad reached out, IIM Bangalore reached out. A lot of India's biggest business schools reached out because I was showcasing every achievement of mine on social media. It doesn't end there. I started getting international calls after that. I started getting keynote speeches across the world. I've done 15 keynote speeches in the US and Europe and across the world. I got leadership workshops from some of the biggest companies in the world. And all of this is only because of my ability to show off on social media. So the one learning I have for all of you is be shameless on social media and showcase yourself. If you cannot market yourself, the world is not going to do it for you. And the one takeaway I would like you to have from this talk is show off is a good word. Show off is not a bad word. The fourth learning I want to share with you from my own journey is failure is always success in dirty clothes. Let me take you back through my MBA. I graduated from 2007 to 2009 from IIM Bangalore. In 2008, IIM Bangalore had one of its best summer placements. I got a plum internship. I was interning in the New York office of a consulting firm. After that, Lehman Brothers happened, and we had the worst finals in the history of IIM Bangalore. I had a great profile, but I was one of the last few to get placed from IIM Bangalore that year. And the way things work, at least the way things worked then, was we are all in this mad rat race. You are all in this mad rat race. And typically, when we pass out of business school, students who are doing well typically speak to other students who are doing well, and you do not stay in touch with students who are doing badly. That's how unfortunate the rat race works. So because I was one of the last few to get placed out of IIM Bangalore, a lot of my good friends from business school stopped speaking with me. The person who used to stay opposite me in the hostel once told me in a very serious note during lunch, "You should be happy that I'm even having lunch with you." And a lot of people actually give up on you. Now, at that point, things feel very bad, but you will realize that it was one of the biggest blessings I was getting because I was out of this rat race. And because I was out of this rat race, I had the freedom to do what I wanted to do. So that's how I pursued my alternate career in writing and speaking. Today, after 15 years, if I look back, this was in 2009, my biggest turning point in life and the biggest blessing life has given me was I was one of the last few to get placed from IIM Bangalore in 2009. Because if that episode had not happened, I would have not been here today in this episode. So sometimes please remember, success is just failure dressed in bad clothes. The last learning I want to share with you is the power of irrational belief. Irrational belief is very, very important in life. So like I said, I've been on this journey for 15 years. The first 10 years, I was largely a flop writer, a flop speaker. It's only in the last 5 years things have really looked up for me. And in those 10 years, when month after month you're doing it, getting up early morning, doing it on a Sunday, and success is not coming to you, whether it's your book sales, salary, fame, corporates, whatever you're looking at, it can be very easy to give up. And that's when you need to have this irrational belief that I will make it. I don't know where I had it from. I just knew I would make it. In hindsight, I think it was some astrologer who had told me I would make it at some point in life. And it was that irrational belief I clung on to, basis that prophecy that I would make it at some point in life. The other point I'd like to leave behind is when we look at our own journeys, we always think that I am working so hard. I deserve the results, I deserve the success. The one learning I have had over the last 15 years is you do not get your due when you think you are ready. You get your due when the world thinks you are ready. So, no matter where you are in your life, no matter how much you have tried, always remember it's only when the world believes you are ready. And for me, that time was after 10 years, is when your due will start coming to you. These are 5 learnings I wanted to share with you. And as I end this conversation, I'd love to go back to the starting anecdote I had about bad bosses. I hope you don't get bad bosses. Unfortunately, you will. That is how things in India run. I hope you know how to manage bad bosses. Unfortunately, that is very difficult. For some reason, if you fail to manage bad bosses, at least you will get a successful TED talk talking about them. Thank you so much.